Hi friends, Christy here from Crafty Christy's Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to put together this spider and web 3D lantern. So as you can see, we've got the spider web on all sides, and this just makes for a really nice spooky Halloween decor. And then you've got room in the top there to just drop in a little tea light. So I just got these from the Dollar Tree, and they come in 2 in a packet. And you can just drop that in there, and then you'll get a little bit of a light showing through. And then I've got the vellum in between here to really help make that color glow. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how to put this one together. All right, we're gonna start by folding on all of our score lines. I'm just gonna fold those down. We've got another one here. This is the bottom of our lantern right here. Just gonna fold on all these score lines, and then we've got this one here on the edge. Okay, so that piece is all folded. This one only has the one score line down the middle and then the one on the edge. So we're just gonna fold on this score line here. And I cut this out of good thick cardstock. And I definitely recommend some thicker cardstock, or cut it twice and then glue 2 pieces together so that's nice and sturdy. And now we can go ahead and put these pieces together. So we'll put some glue on this flap here to put this side, and then we can put glue on that flap to put that side. So I'm just gonna glue these 2 pieces together, and then we'll go ahead and put the vellum on the inside before we continue on. I'm just gonna flatten this back out. Again, putting glue down this strip here. I'm using liquid glue. You can use, double-sided tape here if you want as well. Just gonna put a good amount of glue. And then I'm going to bring these 2 together and line them up at the seam. And then you wanna make sure they're lined up top to bottom as well. And once you get that, you want to give it a good press. And then I like to fold on that line and then give it another good press to make sure it's all lined up perfectly. Okay, now I'm gonna flip this open and we're gonna add the vellum. So I've got all these vellum pieces and they're gonna sit inside here. So you'll just put one, and there should still be a bit of a border around the edge. So you'll have one for each spot here. I'm using thick, it's a cardstock weight vellum by Stampin' Up, but any vellum would work for this. And again, you can use liquid glue or you can use double-sided tape, and this time I'm gonna try some double-sided tape. I'm just gonna cut a piece here, and I'm gonna add it to my box here. I'm using the double-sided tape because I think it's gonna hold the vellum better and we're gonna have less issues with warping. I'm gonna go ahead and just peel that up so I can see where it is. And I'll lay down this next piece. And that actually came apart, but that's okay. I'm just gonna lay that down here. And I can lay this little piece across the bottom. And I'm peeling the backing as I go so I can see where my tape is laying, and then I can lay my next piece down. It takes longer to use the double-sided tape, but it gives a cleaner finish, I think. And I can get it right along that edge and not worry about it running over. And that extra I'm just going to fold down. And then just a piece across the top there. Okay, so now I can take my vellum and I can just line it up on the inside here. And like I said, you should have a nice border all the way around. Now I could have gone through and put a little bit behind the spider and pieces here, but it's not necessary to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing and add the vellum behind each piece, and then I'll be back and show you the next steps. Now we've got all the vellum pieces in place. When you flip it over, this is the correct side. So now what we're going to do is finish folding up our little Tealight here. So you've got the flaps on the bottom, and I'm just going to fold those in. And then what will happen is you'll fold up. You can do one side at a time. And glue that in, glue over, and then close it up. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on this edge here. Again, you could continue with the double-sided tape, or you can go back to the liquid glue. Okay, so I've got glue on that edge, and all I'm going to do is hold this up and fold this edge in. And I'm actually going to kind of turn it, and I'm going to get that seam to match up, and it might be helpful to stand it up, and then you can just fold that edge in this way. And then I'm just using my hand on the inside here just to help press from the inside, and then also pressing from the outside to get that glued into place. And then you can also lay it down and really press that edge down. It takes a little bit for that glue to dry, so make sure you're patient, giving it a chance to really glue. And now we can go ahead and add some glue to this next little lip here and do the same thing. So I've got my glue on that edge. I'm going to start by laying this side over. And then just pressing down. And then I can also flip this completely over and then put my hand inside here and press down on that tab. And then standing it up to make sure, pressing everything down so it's all the same height. Okay, so now we've just got this one more tab here to close up the bottom. Put a little bit bit of glue on there. And then what I'm also gonna do is put on this tab here, I'm gonna put a little bit of glue in this corner to glue that corner down at the same time. So this will kind of flip on the outside. And then I can fold this one down. And I'm just worried right now about getting this bottom edge glued. I'm just gonna press, again, I'm gonna flip that over. If you're not able to reach your hand inside here at this point, you know, you could use a ruler to just apply some pressure to that little lip at the bottom. Okay, got that done. And then the last thing to do is finish filling in this seam here. So the tip of this bottle here is pretty thin that I'm able to really just kind of sneak some glue in there. Onto this flap. And then we just want to make sure we fold that flap down. And then this flap will glue to the inside. And we can put that down on our table to help fold that flap down and get it in position. So I'm having a little bit more trouble with mine because my double-sided tape, it was wider than what I really needed, so I've got some extra tape hanging out that everything's trying to stick to. I can just kind of press that into place. And now, you know, sticking my hand in on that seam there and just pressing everything down into place. And then just making sure I'm giving it time to really dry. Okay, and then if you need to, you can always paint a little more glue in there, but that looks pretty good. So that is our spider web lantern.